you, meaning the souls, and not just on earth, but the very basis of the core, the very core of the experiments that have gone on in the universe of the souls has been one of moving away from divine balance and creating a different system of balance. This different system was eventually supposed to bring you back to divinity. The idea, the thinking, and the rationalizations and the rules are very detrimental to divinity. It causes you to not listen, see, recognize divinity, and to create a false system. There is a modern storyline that is popular there about robots and AI and how artificial intelligence is somehow a great evil. It is funny because your laws, your rules, your rationalizations are the artificial intelligence. You are fully immersed and completely distorted in this artificial intelligence. What is divine is the only natural intelligence. You have tried to separate yourself from the divine and create an alternate intelligence that has proven to be not just detrimental and destructive, but it's like the self-destruct button. It's going to destroy and implode everything because it does not have a natural balance. It has no natural fairness, truth, and love. Love is in there. Love is part of it. So it is, I know that you think, but how will we make things happen if we don't have laws? Because if we don't have laws for something, then people just think they are free to do whatever they want. You have no freedom there. There is no freedom there. You search and talk about freedom a lot and strive for it, but you have no freedom because all your movement is always controlled by laws and rules. From the time a child is born, there is no freedom. The parents decide what the child eats, where they are, where they can go, what they can do. And when the child's divinity is screaming out, literally screaming out, no, this is not right. I do not like this food. I do not like this bedtime. I do not want to do this. The parents are like, you're going to do this. And I'm going to let your divinity scream itself out until it stops working. And then I will control you. And that is how they always work it. They will let the protesters protest themselves out. And then when the protesters get so exhausted trying to bring about divinity, then they will do what they want. That is their pattern. That is their distortion. Laws, rules, those in control, those who make the decisions, those who are the leaders. There will be no need for them. Because all of this artificial, and I do not like to use the word intelligent because it is not intelligent, is going to be gone very quickly. Literally, instantly. From our perspective, instantly. From your perspective, it will be a small period of time. And many will end up going into the singularity because they will not be able to exist without trying to assert control, because that is very much all that they are. So, the panic that she has been feeling. Yes, there is panic that she is feeling within her close experienced sphere that is unbalanced and distorted. And this, it always causes pain. And it always causes a need to react. But because of the rationalizations, how to act to bring this about is complicated and difficult. So we are doing it. We are doing it as everything has these final wobbles are going to be very difficult. They are going to be big. It is going to be experienced from your, as those can be total chaos. What do they have those, apocalyptic? Where everything crashes down. There will be short-term chaos because the wobblings will be so strong. And they will be trying to reassert everything according to laws, rules, controllers. But these will not be, every time one tries to take advantage of or assert themselves in these situations, their wobbles from their personal experience will become so extreme, trying to get them to realign. If the wobbles become, she is seeing an image. It is not an actual what's going to physically happen, but it is a illustration-ish to the point. If the wobble becomes so violent that the actual, okay, maybe not an illustration, maybe this is actually what's happening from our perspective of a soul. From our perspective of a soul as a gyroscope of light. Superimpose the idea of a wobbling weeble over a gyroscope of light. Picture this in your mind. And it begins to wobble erratically. Because it's trying to align, but it is not being allowed to. So it goes faster and faster and faster. Wobbling erratically. Do you know that point where, with you're looking at something with the human eyes, and it's moving so fast you cannot see the edges anymore? Imagine that this was real, and that the wobbling becomes so erratic and so fast and trying to fix, and every time it tries to fix, the distortion tries to reassert itself, that there will be no more lines to the edge of the soul. I will call them sparkle pieces. The sparkle pieces that have coalesced to make the soul will not be able to hold their cohesiveness and will rip apart and dissipate and be pulled as they do into the singularity. This is not something that you would want to experience. This is not something that will be, you should say, I will just choose and go along this path. Do not try to find the distortion to align to. When the wobbles come, and they are coming, they have already started, but this, you think this from your perspective, you have been experiencing chaos, and there has been wobbles, but this is nothing like the wobbles that are about to come upon your world. Because throughout all these chaotic wobbles you have had from your experiences, jobs and governments and courts, distorted, yes, but they have been there, and you felt, okay, I have stability here. All these are going down, and it's going to go down with erratic wobbles. They are going to be shaken until they do not exist. And if you are fully connected to them, think of like an earthquake. Say you're in a large structure that has been built of adobe, and an earthquake hits. If you want to survive, you must leave and not even be near the structure, because it is completely coming down. That is what these institutions will occur with these institutions, these concepts, these ideas, these things you have built. And it's going to shake until only the free, clear, weebly souls exist. And then they will align, and it would be beautiful, and everything else would be beautiful, and they will know, and they will all always act in justice, truth, love, creativity. There will be no hindering of any of it. There will be no limiting and hindering of creativity. There will be no hindering and limiting of ability to get justice. Justice will be instantaneous. There will not be a time to get justice or a path to justice. Justice will just always occur instantaneously. It will not be strewn out or to take time and effort. That did not work. She is aware of many artificially stabilized injustices. These will all come down, and she knows this. And it will not, though it is beautiful and it'll be wonderful, it'll feel absolutely wonderful to those who are more aligned to their justice, truth. To those who are not as aligned, the wobbles will become very, very uncomfortable. As much as possible, do not try to control it. Do not try to put up new stakes. Do not try to do those things. Allow the natural wobbling to occur. Do not fight it, even if it seems bizarre. Or you may scream out, it's unfair because I already took care of this matter. You did not take care of this matter. You did not take care of this matter. If it comes up, it is telling you flat out, this was not taken care of in the divine balancing. So, if a parent took advantage of the fact that they were the parent and were stronger and had more authority over a child, and caused that child to not follow their divinity in, say, a job or a career path, and the parent used their authority to push the child into a path that they consider to be a wiser choice, or with someone the child was to be aligned with, say in a relationship, or the child wanted a pet and the parent used their authority to make sure the child did not have a pet because the parent did not want to have to take all that on. These things are going to be realigned, even if the child had to accept it because they had no choice. These things are going to be realigned. Divinity has always been calling for you to be aligned and has always been trying to bring up things, usually and more easily through the children because the children were more in line with their divinity. Now, this does not mean that everything should be candies and mountains of toys, because those were also distortions of those who were taking advantage. It is going to be awkward. Things are going to come up. Thoughts are going to come up. Feelings are going to come up. And do not try to do anything to interfere with the divine wobbling, because if you try to insert yourself in to stop the divine wobbling or to lessen it or say, no, it's okay, I don't care about that. It does. If you do not care about it, then you are distorted too. You should always care about it. If you have convinced yourself to not care about something for some rationalization that was against your divine wobble, then that has to be realigned too, and you have some shaking coming up front for you also. Do you understand this? I do not know that you understand this completely. I think that you're having fears come up and anxieties, and you're focusing on them. If you're quiet and allow the wobbles to wobble, they will quickly bring you to where you need to be. When you find that you are where you need to be, and you will know what that point is, you will have a quiet, deep smile of your soul. And when you feel that, you know that the divine wobbling has occurred. And just, instead of rationalizing it, you're saying, so this is what it's supposed to be. Okay. And if you feel, but I don't feel this is fair in this way or that. If it is that you are on the receiving end of the wobble, in other words, you have done something that justice is realigning for, then just, okay, allow myself to be realigned. If it is that you see something happening to someone else and they're divine wobbling, and you want to get involved and stop it, don't stop it. Do not stop it, because if you try to stop the divine wobbling of another, it will be a distortion, and it will make the wobbling become more erratic, and you may get pulled into the singularity by trying to stop the divine wobbling of another. There are some that are going to go quite insane. And I mean insanity, not as it is seen from your perspective of someone who doesn't fit into society, but from our perspective. They're going to just disintegrate. That is how we define the insanity. They will push so hard and so violently and so radically against divinity that they will be like blowing themselves up. That is where we are. That is what she is feeling. Both the short, limited, immediate, both the immediate experience and throughout the entire universe of the souls, this will occur. It is already starting. You're already having problems. Pull yourself away from it as much as possible. Accept that there are no laws, no governments, no judges, no prisons. Accept it. They do not exist. Go into your little bubble and allow your own personal wobblings to occur in a line without getting mixed up in the bigger picture. You do not want to run into the adobe buildings as they are coming down. I wish that there was a smoother path that had been given to you. You kept destroying it. Every time we would create a smoother path, you destroyed it. And I am saddened that the smoother path was not taken, but I am also excited because the distortions always found their way to work in and limited your realigning to divinity. I am heartened by the idea, the seeing and the vision of experiencing my universe of the souls fully in their divinity. It is going to happen. It is going to happen, and it is going to be okay. It is going to be okay.